So welcome back. We are going to be doing a review on my favorite foundations that I have tried here in the past and that I truly love and I would recommend to you guys in a heartbeat. I do have a video that I did my top 5 best drugstore foundations, which I will link down below. Yeah, so we are going to jump in. Before we get started, keep in mind there are tons and tons of foundations out there. Just remember that for me, these are the foundations that work for me. I'm oily combo kind of skin person. I like anything from a medium to a full coverage. I do not like light to medium coverages. So the first one we're going to jump into is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup Foundation. This is my #1 favorite foundation of all time. It is incredible. If you are looking for something that is high, medium, full coverage foundation, this is what you want. It is a full-on matte finish. I love it for me as an oily person with a lot of fine lines on my forehead. I have a lot of acne, scarring, hyperpigmentation. It covers very, very well. You have to be very careful with this foundation though, because if you go on it and like paint it like a brush, it's going to look very thick. I like to use mine preferably with a beauty blender. It's gonna diffuse out that full coverage, and it's gonna start with a little bit of a lighter finish, and it's gonna be easier to build up. Whereas when I just use a foundation brush, which has happened to me many times, whenever I use a foundation brush with this, if I don't wet it or I don't add some Fix Plus or a setting spray to it and I just go on, it'll cake up and it'll look very thick, and I can only apply one layer and it'll still look like I'm really, really wearing foundation. This doesn't come with the pump. I actually bought the pump to go with this. This is a MAC pump. I believe they sell them for about $10 at the MAC Pro stores, which is where I've seen them. So the next foundation we're gonna jump into is the Makeup Forever. This is the Makeup Forever line. I have 2 foundations in here from the Makeup Forever line that I really, really like. The first one I'm going to jump into because I love it more than I like the other one is the Makeup Forever HD High Definition Foundation. I am in N155. This is the old packaging. I still have the one from the old packaging from when they reformulated. The new one, I'm not sure what the number is. I will have to go on Sephora and try to find what my number will be, and then I will list it down below for you guys in case you guys were wondering. Let me start off by saying that I love this foundation. I have heard really good reviews about this foundation. I have heard really bad reviews about this foundation, and I've heard mixed reviews about the foundation. And I believe that I could probably agree with all of them. There are really good things about this foundation, and then there's really shitty things about the foundation. It's like a very testy foundation. It looks incredible in picture, incredible in photography. That's what it's meant for. It's really meant to kind of Photoshop your face, kind of give you that nice filtered face. But I've also heard people say that in person it looks like crap. You have to be very hydrated with this. If you have any sort of acne scarring, like dry patches from your acne scars, or you have dry skin, I've had it cling really bad to my dry patches, and I've also had it really cake up right on my chin area. But I find that when I prime really well, I drink enough water. I use my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer water, and when I use that, it will sit so well on the skin and it'll look flawless for hours. I can use this with my Sigma F80 brush. I can use this with my beauty blender. With my beauty blender, I get a much lighter finish with it, and that's okay. And I like it sometimes for like more of day wear. But for night wear, I like to use my F80 foundation brush, and then I spritz a little bit of Fix Plus on it and blend it out, and it looks really, really good. Just make sure you blend it out really well with any other medium to full coverage foundation. I feel like you just have to blend those kind of things out really well. Moving on to the next one. This is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet. I love this stuff, but it's the same thing as the other one. This stuff can either be your best friend or it can be your worst enemy. I have had really good days with this, and I've had really, really bad days with this. This is a very thick foundation. It's a very matte finish. If you guys want a matte finish, like you want no oil, no luminosity, you want matte finish, go with the Matte Velvet. That's what it's intended for. It's intended to give you a matte finish. It's gonna give it to you. It's a full-on coverage foundation. This is the one foundation that I never use to set. If I have to set it, I just use a translucent powder, because if I put any sort of powder over it, it'll look cakey really bad. And when I get cake right around my chin area, my nose area, and my fine lines right on my forehead. The next one I want to talk about, and you guys are probably like, why are you showing me this? It's the Smashbox 15-Hour Wear Foundation. I'm in number 3.2. You guys are probably wondering why it's in this. The bottle broke on me, so I ended up just pouring it into an empty Lumi bottle that I had. So yeah, you guys like my fancy It's what I'm wearing today. For me, I've learned to really love it. It's one of those foundations where it'll take a little bit of time and you're gonna either love it or you're gonna hate it. And when I first had it, I hated it. I hated it. It was terrible because I was like, oh my God, it feels so sticky. And if you are somebody like me who has oily skin, the idea of it like being sticky it's just not right. With this one, I feel like this is a more of a forgiving foundation in my opinion, because if I forget to prime really well, or if I'm not as hydrated during the day, this will be a more forgiving foundation than any of the other foundations that I own. So it's got a little bit more of a luminosity, more of a luminous finish to it. It looks and it feels very light on the skin. It looks more of like your skin than most of the other foundations I have. This is a medium to full coverage foundation as well. I typically find with this one though, I can really only build it to like it's between a medium and a full that I can build it to. I can get it to a full coverage, but with this, I find that it covers really well only with like a layer and a half. Like I will do one layer on my face, and then I'll go in with maybe a half a layer just right around my trouble area, which is right here, my cheek area, and it'll be perfectly fine. I do find that with this foundation, which is what I have on today, like I said, it never settles in my fine lines, and that is the #1 thing I love about this. And when I first started using it and I was like, oh, I can't stand it, the one thing I love though was that it would never settle into my fine lines. It just sat on the skin so well, and it does so well as to like covering up a lot of the acne scarring I have right here. It's just a beautiful foundation, and when you play around with it just a little bit more and you see what it can do, it's so beautiful. It really is. I feel like you guys need to try it out. So I wanted to mention this one because I feel like it is it's like an all skin type kind of foundation. It doesn't matter what kind of skin type you have, you can blend it in and make it your own, and you customize it to how you want it. This is anywhere from a light coverage to a full coverage foundation. I do know that with this you can get full coverage really fast, so you have to be very careful with it also because you can build it up really fast. And the reason I like this one and I wanted to mention this one is because you can build it from a light coverage to a full coverage. If you're somebody who has maybe a full coverage foundation and it's not enough and you need just a little bit more, I would recommend checking this out. The one thing I do say about this though when you get this is you have to really shake it up when you use it. If you don't shake it up, because it will separate. So yes, it's a great foundation. I wanted to mention it because I feel like it would be a great foundation for just about everything, everybody. So I hope you guys liked this video as well. I hope that if you guys were interested in any of these products, that maybe I helped you guys make a decision on whether or not you guys should try it. If I didn't answer one of your guys' questions, just leave it down below and I'll try to get back to it as soon as possible. I'll try to answer what I can about it. If you guys have any specific questions, just let me know. Like I said, I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. So besides that, thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope to see you guys all in my next video. If you guys haven't subscribed, you guys can do so down below, little red box. Otherwise, I will see you guys all in my next video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.